Hi everyone and welcome along. Now, what is it about paintings like this and like this that really make them vibrant and sing and just set them apart? Well, I have a theory that it might be the inclusion of turquoise tones. Here I have aqua green and Mayan blue genuine, and these are the two characters that we are going to explore today in my palette. It was really interesting looking for paintings that featured them as a main character colour. It was really hard to, they just aren't there as this sort of in-your-face colours, but what they are doing is working very hard behind the scenes to create a really lush, vibrant lightness to a lot of paintings. So I'm so excited to share with you my findings of the mixes and then some of the tutorials that you can enjoy on the channel, in my books, on Patreon, that feature these gorgeous turquoise tones. So grab your paints and let's get started. Here is aqua green, this one here, and here is Mayan blue genuine. Now these are two colours that don't get a huge amount of action in my palette, but they are really important. I do need them there. So we're going to see just what they can do. And you never know, this might be a useful exercise for me to realize just how useful they might be. So we'll start with some swatching. Just want to get that really dark and deep. See how amazingly intense aqua green can get. Aqua green is a replacement colour to cobalt turquoise, and it's funny, like when I was at the De La Rowney factory the other day, I did have the head scientist of the paint making saying cobalt and cadmiums in the paints for consumers really aren't unsafe. They are not a problem at all. And that's really reassuring. It was a useful process for me to go through when I was looking at replacing the paints, because the thing is I responded to an awful lot of comments I got from the YouTube audience, from you guys, who were concerned and asking. So it was a really fun process to go through and see if I needed to replace them and just find new colours. But ultimately, the great news is if you do have cadmiums and cobalts in your palette, do not worry, you're fine. And let's face it, there are probably all sorts of other dangers and chemicals and toxins like lurking around every corner of life. And it's good to know that ultimately the people in the know are not concerned. But enough on that subject. Let's get back to our colours. So look how amazingly versatile our aqua green can be, and it's a lovely transparent colour. I really enjoy using it when I do get to use it. It's just so often I'm a mixer of turquoisey tones normally with some of the blues and greens in my palette, but what can be absolutely delicious is putting aqua green with green gold, and I might show you that just on its own as a separate thing, because I think it's a real gorgeous mix. So Mayan blue genuine is a Daniel Smith colour, one that was brought to my attention a few years ago. I popped it in my palette, and it used to sit in the far corner of the palette, which just never used to get much action, because I think it was always just off camera, and I thought, oh, it's a bit difficult to see, so I'll probably just go for a bit of Payne's grey and a bit of green. That'll probably do it. But actually, look at these amazing pale sort of blue sky, grey blue sky colours we're getting. I think this could be a really interesting colour to sort of reconnect with, reintroduce myself to. But there we have our lovely two tones of turquoise, and just for fun, I'm going to get a bit of green gold and a bit of aqua, and just look at that gorgeous vibrant green from green gold and aqua green together. Right, got to try not to stick my arm in that colour down there, but let's go for aqua green and Hands are yellow medium, so we'll just get a little bit of that in there. And I'm really interested to see what we get from this, because that is lovely and vibrant. Let's get a bit more in there. And then we'll get all of them in together, and we can see the aqua green is really taking over there, but the yellow is managing to stand its ground a little bit and create a beautiful green. And this reminds me of Hooker's green, which is a colour I used to have in my palette. A very, I felt quite synthetic green that turns out it's a green that is mainly used for mixing purposes, which made a lot of sense, to be honest, because it always felt a bit much on its own. Anyway, that was it. So that's great to know that Hooker's green is still sort of lurking in my palette. I think I'm going to try putting the turquoise, whoa, into the red. Almost immediately we've got some interesting mixing. And this is making a nice purpley colour. Really cool. Rather beautiful sort of alizarin crimson colour we've got going on there. I really like these mixes. Gosh, and the rain is lashing down outside. Ah, spring will be here soon. Okay, blue and aqua green. What a lovely set of three colours. I like. And a great sort of set of sky colours as well. So we can see that the turquoise of the aqua green is really having an impact on the French ultramarine, and it's being quite dominant. Oh, I forgot to put red on my swatch. I really like these colours. Gosh, when you put that red down, it really makes you see just how much an impact that the green has. Because of course, it's still a greeny tone, and that should mean a desaturating effect for the red. And it was, but it was also something quite uplifting and exciting. So I really, really enjoyed that little swatching session. And now it's time for Mayan Blue Genuine. So let's bring just a little bit of Mayan Blue Genuine into that green, into that yellow, and I'm expecting a green, clearly. Oh, that's an interesting colour. I rather like that. Something a bit otherworldly about that colour. And we're making some lovely fresh greens, but oh, it's going a little bit sort of dull. It's not quite as vibrant as the aqua green, but it's still a very nice, slightly yellowy green, but I think that's nice. I love painting the swatch at the end, just as a reminder of how much impact that mix has had on it. And here we go. These two will be fairly evenly matched, I believe. So that's made quite a nice sort of pinky colour. Because it is more like a blue. I mean, it's called Mayan Blue Genuine. So it's going to be going down the route of creating purpley tones rather than just desaturating the red. And they look like quite an even match. Maybe the red's a little more dominant. But that is another lovely set of mixes. We're going to be spoilt for choice, aren't we? And finally, blue into Mayan blue. See if we can make a difference with this colour. It's probably just going to end up being a similar kind of slightly tealy blue, but actually French ultramarine does dominate quite a bit. And of course that's where you really do see that it is a blue more than it is a green, but it's not as blue as French ultramarine, as you can see. So you can see there is that little bit of impact, just making it slightly deeper, slightly cooler. But I rather love these new shades that we've brought to our palette through this mixing. So let's have a little look at some of the paintings where I found these colours to be particularly helpful and useful. I've put it like that rather than being like the main character celebration, because I'm just not sure how many we've got of those. So there aren't many photos that have got like wham bam loads of turquoise in them, but what I've realized is it's such a useful supporting color. So this is a Calliope hummingbird from Birds, Bees and Blossoms, and you can see how lovely and vibrant that little bit of aqua green is there. Here's two slightly more sort of playful uses of the color, and you can just see that it can be a really fun addition to sort of springtime pieces. And in fact, I did keep coming across it in springtime tutorials. And in fact, what I will just say is both of these are tutorials on YouTube. This was a really fun little sort of exercise. If you just sort of type in umbrellas, type in Easter to the search, you will find these pieces. Then this one here was a lovely seascape we did also on YouTube, so you can find that, and a really nice selection of the turquoise tones into the green gold actually and into the sand. Then this and this one, whoops, are both in Birds, Bees and Blossoms. It's a lovely book. It's my second book, and it's often the one that people actually forget about. Let me just get it here for you. Here we are, Birds, Bees and Blossoms, and in fact it is on a Kindle daily deal in US Amazon for $1.99 at the time of filming, so do head over there and get yourself a little bargain. You can also get signed copies from my Etsy, but you can learn how to paint this whole peacock here, but you can also learn how to do some sort of arts and crafts, stylized, lovely sort of folk art pieces. I loved painting this so much. So those are both in Birds, Bees and Blossoms. This was actually, this is something that I just painted for fun. This is from Inga Buive's Watercolour Calm, Painting Calm, really, really nice. And this is more of a move into the Mayan blue, genuine, these kinds of colours that we featured. And how nice is it with warm, peachy, brown and pink tones. This was a tutorial where we used all the turquoises in and amongst with the blues and a little bit of gouache to get the splatter. That's a really nice one there. Then this was the Blue Ridge Mountains, where these bluey green tones were in the mix there. They're very subtle, but it was just another example of how often the greens and the blues and the turquoises are going to be there as part of an ensemble cast of colours. They're all about being mixed in together. This piece is a Patreon watercolour challenge. We painted this very slowly over about 6 or 7 weeks, but there is actually tons of turquoise in it. Aqua green down here, Mayan blue genuine in the shadowy edges, because when you've got a garden that's just so full of so many greens, the shadows are going to have that turquoisey tone to them. So that is a lovely tutorial that you can go and watch right now. Start painting right now over on the Sweet Pea tier of Patreon. This was another Patreon tutorial we did in a live stream class on the Cherry Blossom tier, a really beautiful study of landscape and how you can use the different colours and different sort of levels of detail to depict a sense of distance and detail in the foreground, and of course a lovely elk. And then finally, another in Birds, Bees and Blossoms actually. Or is it? It's funny, I'm so bad at actually remembering what came in each book. Birds, Bees and Blossoms, olive branches, using that sort of Mayan Blue Genuine kind of grey turquoisey blue to get into the leaves and the olives. And there you have a lovely array of colours and paintings that just are sitting somewhere in between green and blue, and it's been a really handy sort of reminder for me that these colours are really, really useful to have. You might not need both, you could just go for one. I probably would choose Aqua Green over Mayan Blue Genuine just because of the amount I've used them. But I love them both and I'm really happy to have them in my palette. So let me know in the comments whether you have a turquoise lurking in there, or if you have Mayan Blue Genuine, maybe give me some ideas for things that you love to paint with that colour, and of course we can have a go on the channel at some point. But thanks so much for watching. Next time we'll be moving on to our blues and I can't wait to see you then. Okay, bye!